Welcome, people. So this is DPS, Department of Public Safety. Ooh, it's all about your safety. We're gonna shoot people and kill people and risk everybody's life to keep you safe. All right, whatever. All right. So here's your target car, because the news media that's covering this doesn't ever identify the freaking car. You see some damage here. This is the target car.
This guy or where they're going and what they may be carrying, what their plan is.
Yeah, if we've got our bearings right, then he'd be coming up on the 143, which you can also exit to get to the airport. University Drive 30.
They still don't say what this guy did or what this is from, but I want you to notice when they stop this guy, how many cars, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars in cars and window tint and special this and lights and cops show up. I mean, there are a group of people following this guy in unmarked cars.
32nd Street. Okay. He's really got nowhere to go because of the traffic.
Right.
So, in my opinion, the guys that are following him, and maybe it was a tactical decision or they didn't have the car in place, this would have been a much better place to snag him. Even though you don't. It kind of seems like this grappler thing is, it has to be a certain type of area to where you have to block them off in order to get it done. And I think this would have been a better place. I mean, even a car shooting in front of him and forcing him into this wall right here. If this guy was undercover, he could come right in here and just kind of park sideways right here, and another car pull up behind him and he's boxed in. Yeah, he can back up and ram his car. Yeah, he can go forward and ram that car. Whatever. We stop him. But
the other problem is it's hard to get officers in on that too because of the traffic.
Right, and I don't see those vans right now.
These two idiots talking, you can tell they're just total dingbat liberal media types that have no clue, and they want to sound like they know what they're talking about.
We're kind of close. I don't know if in a wide shot maybe they're further back, but I'm not sure if they'd go onto the highway at this point or if they'd, wait for him.
You hear him say a lot, I'm not sure, I don't know, but they keep speculating.
To exit?
The one thing this does is it buys them time to get out ahead of him. As he slows down and he's stuck in traffic, they can start to deploy officers at turnoff points up ahead to maybe, head this guy off. It's tricky because you get on surface streets, you don't. One of these unmarked units box him in where he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking this might be an unmarked, but it's hard. All the cars look like this. Black tires, nothing white on them, tinted windows. At the end, you'll see all these cars pop up.
And the people driving today have no idea what's unfolding.
Right, they have no idea what's happening around them. You advise them to take a different way. I mean, it could be a dangerous situation for people, for all involved.
So I'm not sure if this is an undercover car too. Like I said, there's so many damn cars. If you're doing undercovers and you're following like this, sometimes you want a scout car that doesn't know to go ahead and drive by your target and he can glance in. What do you see? Drive by him and kind of glance over because you got tinted windows. What do you see? Does he have guns? Is he getting guns? Is he on the phone? Is he drinking? Does he look relaxed? Is he staring at his rearview mirror because he knows he's being... Grab some intel and do a drive-by. So if this is a marked unit, that's probably why he would go in front.
I mean, it could be a dangerous situation for people, for all involved.
Right, and we don't know if he's armed. We have no idea. But
Right.
This is apparently and confirmed now by Fox 10. This was part of an undercover operation involving that car, and we don't know what he...
If they say undercover, undercover could be a drug buy, could be a weapons buy, could be they have a murder suspect and they've been following a guy and he got in a car. I mean, we really don't know anything about this other than they use a grappling hook to catch him in a pursuit.
We believe it's a single male driver.
Yeah, blending in with traffic
I don't know
now.
if this is an unmarked.
Not going extremely fast.
I don't know if this guy's
not
unmarked.
leaving lanes, just moving along.
Possible unmarked.
It's hard to tell what they're going to decide to do next.
Well, the other part, and police have evolved on this over the years, back off, watch him from the air, feeling the time's on their side.
Possible unmarked, possible. All the cars look like this at the end.
These units, those black units with the tinted windows.
Okay, maybe they're going to try to corner him here.
They might.
And get traffic to stop. You can kind of
in the HOV lane, we'll try to get out ahead of him and cut him off.
going on.
With
Becoming different black vans.
Not real good footage. Really don't see.
If this is a stolen here with Phoenix Police.
Yeah, look at all these black.
So look at all these cars, and I think these might be all the unmarked. I mean, it is crazy the amount of cars. You would think this guy was the most wanted terrorist. Again, we still don't know what he did.
That is part of this, and it's a big number.
When they pull the guy out, he looks like Johnny the Cranker, who might be selling drugs. I can't tell if he's white or black. I think he's white, but it doesn't matter. He just looks like a typical young freaking punk.
This has to be pretty serious to deploy this kind of manpower.
Right.
You would think.
That's not part of it, but the ones up to the right of our screen, if
Target
they pan over, you'll see it.
Possible undercover. Possible undercover.
So they've gotten out ahead of him now.
Possible undercover.
Some of these units.
Ahead
so this will
and
be
back.
interesting if they can pinch him in. They have to pull out.
Looks like they're starting to slow down here. Not sure if they're trying to box him in, corner him, and...
Okay, so the fact that he's doing what I tell people to do when you drive defensively. Don't let yourself get boxed in. It tells me the way he's keeping distance here that he's doing counter surveillance. He's making sure that I have an escape path. I'm not going to let them box me in or have him box me up. I've got to be able to go around. So he's keeping good distance from cars. I think later on, he gets a little closer than he probably should.
Once he comes to a stop.
I-10 south of US 60.
Very slow. Everybody's passing. This is another counter surveillance technique. If you go slower than all other traffic, if you're being followed, you're going to see cars behind you going as slow as you are so they don't pass you, and then you know you're being followed. Another way is to go very fast, and then you know if someone's following you because they're passing traffic, keeping up with you, and you're going much faster than the flow of traffic. Both ways can do some counter on whether or not you're being followed.
He may have to go right now.
Yeah, he knows which we're following him on this. Again, as you mentioned, John.
Keeping very good distance.
It's going to be pretty impossible.
And end up on side streets, all black units with the tinted windows that are big SUVs that have now pulled ahead of him. They're not in our frame. And
see, they're saying they pulled ahead. The only reason you would pull ahead with this many lanes is hard to block the lanes. You would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 cars to line up and do a rolling barricade and stop traffic. That's a lot of cars. So if they all passed him, that could be the plan. We'll just do a complete blockage. But I think this is a line, so you may need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 cars. But I think this might be an exit.
And you would think they could start to pinch this guy down to where he gets boxed in. That may be
right.
He was armed. They may be
up on Ahwatukee now. But this all started,
Doesn't look like he's being followed. He's got a pretty good circle around him of escape path and no one's getting real close. So who's ever doing the surveillance is giving him plenty of room until
he's
they
been
want
all
him.
over the valley at this point. So it looks like police partly as
he's been on the 101, the 202, the 51, and I-10
Man, that's a lot of lanes to try and block.
throughout this. So he's covered a lot of.
The fact that all these lines go solid leads me to believe, I don't know anything about these highways, that he's going to a toll road or something. When you have a solid line, you're not supposed to cross it. So once you pick a lane, you're kind of stuck in that lane.
Ground. Don't know what the gas situation is on board, whether he's got a full tank or.
Okay, so now they're not solid lines. So I don't know why all those solid lines were there for some reason.
That's another issue with these guys. Sometimes they can. He's trying to.
Okay, so on this exit, he definitely does what I call a counter surveillance technique. He's trying to lose us. If I'm following somebody because when you follow somebody, sometimes you're following to stop them and arrest them, and sometimes you're just following them to find out where they land. Okay, if I do an undercover buy and I sell a guy some drugs, we will follow them to see where he goes to bring the drugs so we can get a search warrant for that location, depending on how much he's buying, how often he buys, or if he's selling drugs and he comes to a point, sells our undercover drugs, we want to follow him where he leaves to see where he goes back to, because that's probably where the stash is at. So when we're following somebody to find out where he lands and they do a maneuver like this, we know we're blown. So we got to make a decision. Either we rip him off right now, or we just let him go and we'll make him think he's paranoid, and we just keep going and we'll terminate surveillance. Let him get away. We'll get him later. So that's the decision when you see a guy make a move like this. This is a definite, I know you're following me, and I'm going to see if you're going to follow me.
If they've got him from the air,
he goes
and they
from
have a
1,
clear
2,
drop on him,
3
they can
through the
see him.
median, 4,
He's
way
trying
over.
to exit.
All right, it looks like we might exit here.
Looks like he may exit here. Holy shit, man. She must have went through a freaking driving train. Who else? Raise your hand if you didn't know he might exit here. Freaking idiots.
Now that all of those unmarked vehicles with police were up farther than he was, I wonder what's going to happen now.
This is really odd at this point. He stops a long time, and I don't know if he's deciding, if he knows, if he wants to see. This long pause here at this light.
This is where it gets tricky. It'll be interesting to see if he obeys this light.
Okay.
Okay, so he stops at the light. Notice he's right of center on this lane. He's not in the center of the lane. He has left a large gap in case this guy is a cop. They can't jump out of the car and grab his door handle. He's really driving like I tell most people to drive all the time. It's going to be hard to get close to him or box him in. And you should be thinking that way even when you're driving, because it's harder for somebody to carjack you, to walk up and try to bust your window in and grab you, grab your purse, whatever. Put a gun in your ear. Keeping this good buffer zone around your car is good just in normal driving.
This could be Ray Road here.
So this guy behind him, I think, is almost... A lot of the trucks that come up have this covered area in the back. So I'm pretty sure this is one of the uncovers. I can't remember.
One of those units behind him? Yep, it looks like it.
Okay, so there were some behind him.
Yep.
So this guy should be turning, and he goes straight. If this guy is really paying attention, he's like, oh, shit. This got to be a cop. Why isn't he turning like the lane? Why did he stop in my blind spot? I mean, so my guess is this is probably a cop. Why else would he come straight instead of turn? Very odd.
Well, these things change pretty quickly, as I'm sure.
So when I first saw this, I saw this guy walking, and I thought one of the undercovers jumped out and goes, hey, man, I'm going to walk in front of him and then draw my gun. Because if this guy was an undercover, he walks right in front of his car. And if he draws his gun in front of the car and tells him to get out and the guy runs him over, then all the cops get to shoot him, because that's what cops do. They put themselves in danger so they can holler officer safety and kill people. So I was really expecting this to be an undercover cop.
Sure, units that are following this guy are aware of.
There's a couple of those behind him stacked up. So I don't even know what that is.
I still don't know what the hell this car is doing. You're a dumbass. If you're in my freaking, we're following and you're in this group that we're in, I'm like, why the fuck are you there, dude? Either make the fucking turn or stop and wait here and go. I mean, he gets way up here and now he's going to turn right.
That is beyond an Escalade.
What the fuck?
I know.
Maybe he's just a dumbass driver.
Armored.
Yeah.
Notice this car followed the lane and went. This guy pulled way up here. Probably someone in the lead or whatever said, dude, get the fuck out of there. We're not ready to take him here. Leave. He goes, okay, I'll turn right. And he got pushed off.
Yeah, maybe it is. Phoenix Police Chopper also following this guy.
Here comes the undercover. I thought for sure in the bag a gun was coming out.
From this guy.
Police, freeze, don't move! He just walks by.
A pedestrian has no idea
None.
what he's walking in.
So, is this guy a undercover? This car even pulled over here. Maybe this is just a bad intersection to where they don't like to pull out. It seems like there's a bunch of dummies out there that don't know you have a protected lane here. Just drive. They want to come here and watch traffic and stop.
The other vehicles around him also likely have no idea what's going on. But again,
no shit. Wow. That's pretty good.
And it doesn't appear that there's any other people in the vehicle, in this silver vehicle.
Okay, so all these other cars are going and he's not. Another counter surveillance techniques. If you want to know if somebody's following you, you stop and they're going to go around, get pissed off, flip you off, and be mad at you, or they're going to stay behind you. So this guy waited and all these guys are going. So when this car doesn't go around him and stays behind him, this guy's probably an undercover. It looks like he's got some sort of bumper shield here. He's waiting, saying, hey, if you're there, make your move, so I got plenty of escape routes.
That's being followed by Phoenix police at the moment. It seemed to be a man in the front seat driving in a red.
Okay, so he went straight, no other traffic. When you have a bunch of cars following you down this road, you know you're being followed. I gotta turn these fucking idiots down.
This may be near the 143 and I-10. That was
so obviously open lane here. He's by himself. Very easy to tell that he's probably being followed.
that he just crossed there.
This guy's shooting around him now.
Okay.
That's
Is he going to bump into him? Is he going to run him off the road?
one of those units, and there's another one behind him.
Okay, you see the grappling hook deploy right there. Let's go back here and see that thing fold up and down. So when you hit a little button when you're driving, it's not out until you activate it. Hard to tell here. I got a video right after this, so I'll show it better. Hooks come out, go in there, and locks up the tire,
They got him.
The grappler
and bam.
They got him. The grappler,
stop the vehicle.
again, working to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Watch
this is
all
something
these
interesting.
freaking cars. Ladder, silver, this is a car, that white car that was there, these two cars.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, the amount of units that were following this guy, I'm like, what the hell? How many I mean, these trucks are not cheap. Bumpers, emergency lights, hundreds of thousands of dollars following this guy just in cars. So obviously he's trying to pull away. Really good technique for stopping. I like this tool. This guy kind of, I don't know if they're pulling him backwards. So I think the news crew is saying here they're shooting at him. I don't think this is a shot. A regular bullet doesn't make this type of thing. I'm thinking this is either beanbag. Probably, if I had to guess, it was one of the bullets. I don't even know if they still use them. We used to have these bullets out of the shotgun that would go through glass and then explode pepper spray and tear gas. So I don't know if that's one of those charges. I can't remember the name because I haven't seen them used that much, but we used to carry them. And it's just a little shotgun shell with a little tube of pepper spray inside that looks like a plastic bullet. And when it shoots out, it'll go through the glass, and when it breaks, it turns into a mist. And because I see this mist, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, maybe they got smoke grenades now. Maybe they got freaking flash bangs out of the shotgun. I don't know, but this doesn't appear a regular bullet shooting. I wouldn't have all this smoke here. And here's our lovely suspect. Rick, just because he has a tattoo by his eye doesn't make him a bad guy. You're always picking on tattoo people. Okay, whatever. I didn't even remember this picture when I saw this. Maybe I didn't get to this. So he's not a white guy. He's not a black guy. I don't know what he is. I don't really care. All right, so this guy in front is backing up. Bam, rams him. And when you make contact from the rear and the front, you really take away a car's ability to move. If you leave gaps, he can go forward lynch, get inertia and the heavy weight and bump you and move you. He can go back and bump and move forward. But so this is a good proper, I will give these guys a good proper boxing technique. You stop the car. I tell a story where we got in that big old pursuit that made the world's greatest pursuits when the guy rolled his car and shit. The sergeant had a female in the car that he wasn't supposed to have, and he didn't want to get too close to him, so he left about this much gap. So we box him in a parking lot. We jump out. We know it's a Lexus is stolen. And as soon as we jump out, he goes around a sergeant. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? That was a shitty. And later he's like, man, if I got too close and he shot, and you know, she was with me and nobody knew she was. He was a sergeant and he had this little cute little female he's giving a ride along. So it was like shit. So the guy got away. We ended up getting on a pursuit for freaking miles. The guy ended up rolling. He's in a wheelchair. He almost died. Of course, that never came out, but whatever. I mean, it's long gone now. Anyway, I digress. Good boxing technique. They take a while to go up on this car. I just kind of want to show you the amount of people and cars on this. I wish they would zoom out. The amount, and a dog here has absolutely no use, except the only reason to have a dog here is if the guy runs, the dog can chase him and catch him. Watch these damn tools they come out with. They come out with every freaking... He's got a shotgun. You got a dog. You got multiple cars. You got him boxed in. This guy, normally if you're going to box a guy in the front like this, bail out of the car and get out of the crossfire. You shouldn't sit in this car. You got all these guys back here that's going to shoot at you. Sitting in this car is a bad move. If you're going to box, abandon your car, bail out to the side, and get around and get with the guy. This looks like another cop coming in front to box him in. How many freaking cars did they have on this dude? Look at these trucks and the amount of equipment and the heavy duty of these freaking vehicles that they've got. I mean, it's just crazy. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is one dude. I just can't believe it. So here's the grappler dude that's got him tied, his car. We had a white car that turned. We got this freaking utility vehicle. No telling how much all this extra shit costs. Paint job, hidden lights, bumpers. We got this car, this car, this car, this car. Out freaking, this is a cop. Oh, look at the size of this van. I am just shocked at the amount of resources on this one guy. Meanwhile, we have 200,000 people crossing the border every day, and we've got Phoenix, one department, with all this government resources, and we can't secure our border. Are you freaking kidding me? This is crazy. So they pump a few rounds. I think they go in and get him. Like I said, I just wanted to see all the cop cars. And all the cops. Look at all these cops. 2, 4, all look like military. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This looks like a female coming in to watch. Female officer. Always good in the background to watch and ask questions. Dog. When you got this many cops, bald head. When you got this many cops, you do not need a freaking dog. That's just crazy. And they let this dog, bald head, and they let this dog jump in the freaking car. I'm like, are you kidding me? You got all these two are like having a conversation. Whatever. Yeah, what did you do last night? I don't know. I went to the store. And oh, here comes a shield. Oh my God, we got a shield. Oh, wait, give me the bar. Wait, we need more police. Get more police out here. This is one guy. We don't have enough officers. Send everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my God, the resources on one person is just freaking crazy. Another shield. A lot of good this shield's going. I got a shield back here. Okay, great. You're protected. 4 guys, no shield. This guy's got a shield. No protection. We need a shield. Just run up to the freaking car and get the guy out and quit all the bullshit. Good freaking grief. Hang on. Let me get my dog in there. I want to use my dog. I got to say I got a dog bite. Come on, man. Let me get him. No, the 2 shields that we needed on the side here. You know, those are what? $3,000, $4,000 a piece, maybe $5,000 a piece. Yeah, we'll just throw them over here. When they get scratched, we'll get a new one. Yeah, let's scratch them up so we can say we used it. Okay, female, good back here, observing from a distance. Maybe that's not a female. Is it blonde or bald? Doors open, all these cops, this dog. Let me in, let me in, let me get a bite, let me in, let me in. Has to go through all these people in order to use a dog. Total freaking bullshit. No reason to use this damn dog. But if government has it, they're going to freaking use it. So we can justify more. Yeah, that looks like a ponytail on her. Is everybody scared? Is this another shield? We have 2 shields over here that are protecting the tire from ultraviolet rays. And then we have a shield here that this guy's trying to use. Then we have all these cops with no shield. And the dog gets right in the line of fire with his dog. Yeah, okay. These officers are really scared. We have these 2 over here having coffee. Are you kidding me? How to waste money. Oh. Bald. Bald. got to put him between my legs and go through a narrow gauntlet of so many officers so I can use my dog and inflict pain on a guy. This is just bullshit, people. And I know you guys are going to be coming here. The comment, man, why are you always picking up? This is what happens when government gets so much money and power, and their whole existence is to justify what they have and why they need more. Why we have officer safety. Who thinks officer safety here is an issue? Who thinks any of these guys are scared of their life? Who thinks these guys are like, we need to use a dog because this guy is such a danger and he might get away? They use the dog to justify. It's just bullshit. Dog's in there chewing on him. Yeah, great. Oh, here's another shield. Here goes the guy over the car. Oh, another shield protecting the car. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 shields. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys over here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys over here. We need more backup. Officer safety. Look out. He's got a gun. Everybody shoot. Frickin' there'd be frickin'. Are you kidding me? One guy in the car. Look at the resources, people. Guy's like, yeah, I got to use my dog, man. Now I can justify, and I have to get 2 bites a month in order to justify the dog so I can go to food. And now I can get more training because he got a bite, and now I can justify more training. And now because I've used my dog 4 times this month, I can say we need a second dog because it's wearing out my dog and it's just too much work. And now we'll get a second dog, and that's how it works. I mean, it's just bullshit. Now this guy gets out of the car with his military helmet, night vision. Freaking what the hell else he's got on him? Bald, 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 almost bald. One guy chewed him up with a dog. 2 guys kneeling on him. A bunch of people standing around. Wow. Helicopter. Oh, yeah, we got to have the helicopter, too. Forgot about that. Let's set him on the curb. Deploying that grappler is probably $2,500 to $3,000 every time you deploy it. Probably more. I'm just guessing. More cops coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Zoom out so we can see all the government resources, people. Come on. I want to see all my tax dollars. We can't secure the border because we don't have enough police. Crime's out of control everywhere. We need more police because we don't have police. Remember that. We always need more police in government because we just don't have enough. And it's an officer safety issue. Really? Are you freaking kidding me? One dude? What the... All right, so they show the grappling here. I'm going to show you the grappling now video to where they actually, how they get training on this sucker. Okay, so here is the grappling unit. It looks like a regular bumper, but these bars fold out. And I want you to notice the reason they don't deploy it before you get close to the guy and you have to do it is once you deploy it, if you don't use it, you're kind of screwed. I don't think you can flip it back up because the arms almost flap out and lock out. And I think they hit the ground at high speeds. So that's going to be a problem. And new standard of de-escalation of IC pursuits. Yeehaw! Locks up the wheel. Works on dirt. So these bars that are out here are, you notice they're flopping and bouncing. So on level ground, when it's smooth, but when you pick up speeds, every movement exaggerates. And you're going to see in one of the videos a bunch of sparks coming underneath the car. And I think it is from these guys. And I think the whole unit has to be replaced. So it could be up to $5,000 or $6,000 every time you use this. I don't know the pricing. Yeah, great. Okay, so here's the one where I see a lot of sparks coming from the car. they're not coming from the suspect vehicle. They're coming from the grappling unit. So, and of course they don't show a whole bunch of it. But look at the sparks coming underneath this car. Lots and lots of sparks. So that grappling unit is hitting the ground and bouncing, which I'm sure sometimes it snaps. But it does work, and you don't have to have them boxed in. That's why I was kind of like, why are they worried about getting a car in front? So what? You get behind him, if he doesn't know, drop the thing and grab his tire. This is a good one on showing it kind of fold out here. But once it folds out, you're kind of, I mean, there's not a lot you can do. Once it starts folding out, I don't know if that's spring tension or if there's a cable that flips that and throws them both out as it locks. Now, you can't see the sparks because it's not on the ground, but that thing is pretty close and it's got to be pretty low. So you notice the bouncing right here on it. There's a lot of things that can go wrong on this, but it's a good concept and it seems to work. Probably pretty damn expensive. 8th Security Forces Squadron. That's Air Force, sounds like. Here's, they got them boxed in on both sides. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Again, remember, when this is for demonstration, because you see all the people watching. You notice when they're doing this, most of the cars are in a straight path and going straight. They're not weaving in and out of traffic. This isn't going to work on somebody weaving in and out of traffic. It's going to have to be a fairly controlled straightaway. All right, so I thought the guys did a pretty good job on this. Just the amount of government resources just freaking amazes me. All right, we'll end that there.